Hello there, my lovelies, it's me again. Aren't you lucky to be listening to my voice again? God, you'll be really fed up of it by the end of these 30 days. Couple of things I wanted to talk to you about was, I talked about, with the first signature, because we completed all the elements, about decorating the background of the pages by stenciling or adding your lace. I didn't mean then going adding flowers and all your extra bits and bobs and sticking them to the pages, because it'd be too bulky when we actually come to attach the signatures to the front cover. This was just about doing the background elements to make it sort of look semi-pretty. Then when we attach all the signatures to the cover, we will then attach all the elements that we've been making to the pages on top of the background stuff that we've been doing. Then we'll talk about adding your flowers, your hearts, your tags, your booklets, all of that sort of stuff comes then at the end, all the tartan and titivating bit. So yesterday we did these. We did the flip pockets with the decoupaging on, right? We are now going to do the secret slider pocket, which is this one here, and it looks very pretty with the heart on and all of that, but probably what you don't realise is that just down here, I've just gone and pushed it in. Come on out you come, you little blighter. Okay, so here, get my hand out of the shadow, I can't. This slides out. Right, so we punched a hole in here. And I did this one on my kitty journal, and I had a picture of the little kitties sat on this bit, so that as you slid this bit in and out, then you saw the picture of the kittens. Now in the digital kit there's a snail. I just thought, wouldn't it be great to have a cutout here and then have the snail on it, so that then as you pull this, the snail slides along the page as you pull this out. It's a little thought for you. So I'm just going to show you how to make this one. Now this one was inspired because Teresa Lafrance, I think that's your surname, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, Teresa, oh no, it was Teresa. She does her floating elements where she punches these shapes out of the pages and then has beads and things dangling from the elements, so that when you flip the page you can see the elements on both sides, which is really lovely. And it was that inspired me to do this one. So moving swiftly along, get rid of that, pull in that. So we have got, in the centre of our signature, we've got our 3 flippy pages that we made yesterday. As you can see, I haven't decorated mine up yet because I don't want to give the game away just yet of what I'm doing on mine. So that's that one, because I want you to use your own imagination. It's all well and good copying me, but at some point you've got to do this on your billy, and then you'll have to use your own imagination then. So what I've done is I've cut out our humble rectangular pocket. I might cut this down to be smaller, so I've no set size at the moment because it all depends what I'm going to do. So I've got my rectangle that I will end up sticking to this page here. Right, so I'm going to move this out the way. You then need some kind of a punch or shape to draw around, and you will need to decide where you want your secret element to be. So you might want it here in the middle, so that as you're pulling your thing out you'll see the stuff in the middle. You could have it on the end, which is what I did on the previous one. Or as I say, you could cut out a rectangle, which would be great for the snail one. You could even use an envelope with the window pocket in. So then you would chop this bit off here and set your slider up so that as you pull it along it will show through the window of the envelope. Just a thought there. But on this particular one, I'm going to punch out a heart. So I've got this heart shape from Hobbycraft. I did contemplate using my really, really big one, but when you look at it, that takes up an awful lot of the pocket. So I thought, no, I'll just stick to this one, thank you. And yeah, I'm going to put it in the middle, because then it's, yeah, let's do that, just to be different. Right, so I'm going to punch that out. Alright, now I need to think about my sliding bit. So I've got a piece of file folder here, because paper will be a touch too thin, card will be a touch too thick. So the file folder is sort of an in-betweeny bit, and I know that if I flip my pocket over, I need it to go near enough the full length of the pocket, but it needs to be wide enough that it's going to cover that heart shape. Alright, so I know that I need it about like that. Now I need it shorter from the bottom edge here. I can't have it butt up to the bottom edge, it's got to be shorter. You'll see why. I need to make a sleeve to stick on the back that this will slide against. Alright, I could cover the whole of this back with another piece of paper, but then if I put my slider in, my slider could move about like that, because it's got all that space to move about in. So I need to make sure that the slider fits inside the sleeve. So the bits of paper that we'd got left over from yesterday is what I'm going to use for my sleeve. So I know that it needs to be, because I need to have a space here so that I can attach this to the pocket. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to mark, so about 1/4 of an inch at the bottom, 1/4 of an inch at the top. Right, and I'm just going to chop that down. Now my blade is beginning to get a little bit blunt, so it's just starting to snag the paper a bit. Okay, so my sleeve I now need to attach to the back side of my pocket and over the shape that I've punched out. So I know that that needs to sit there. I can see, look, that it's too long, so I can trim that bit off, because it needs to be the exact same width as the pocket. Okay, so that will sit like that. Glue, there's my glue. Alright, so I'm going to place glue around 3 sides, remembering that I've got to keep one side open for the slider to go in and out of. So I'm going to do a thin layer of glue on the 3 sides like that, leaving this one end open, and then that will sit on top of there like so. Now at this point I need to let that glue dry, because if I put my slider in now, it'll stick to that glue. So run off and go and make yourself a cup of tea at this point. And in fact, whilst you're at it, can you make me one too? Thanks. Milk. Smidge of sugar. Thank you. Biscuit would be nice too. Do you mean you haven't got any biscuits? Could have made some. Right, so you can see, look, I can see that sleeve that I've attached to the back. Now, one other thing to think of, I'm going to do it this way on. If you imagine that I'm going to insert something into the pocket, there is a chance that whatever I put in could catch on this sleeve, because there's a slight lip. So this is where my magic micropore comes into play again, because I'm going to attach it to the top edge of that paper. I think I showed you this the other day, is that it now softens that step from the paper to the card, so that when I insert something into it, it's not going to catch on the edge of the sleeve. Right, I'm going to try my slider. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Right. So can you see, it's just catching just slightly. So I'm going to trim just a bit of a fraction off the edge of this card, because I want it to slide in and out comfortably, because otherwise it will either A, tear the pocket, or B, tear the sleeve, and we don't want it doing that. Look, snaggy rough edges again. Good job I've got some blades on order. Okay, let's try it again. That slides in much better, look. Okay, now can you see, look, I didn't trim this down because I need to make sure that it extends just fractionally beyond the pocket, so that I can see that there's something to pull out. Alright, you could, if you wanted to, trim this slide a bit down and actually attach your 2 circles as a little tab to pull out, but as I say, we do want to make this a bit of a secret, so we don't want it too obvious. Right, so can you see how much I've got protruding out? So it means that I've got something to grab hold of there that I can then pull out on it. And then what I would do is, you can insert that back in again. You can draw around that shape there, so then when you pull it out, I didn't draw around it really, but you will be able to then see the shape of where you need to position your image. Now, as I say, you can cover that in a series of images, only up to there though, because this bit won't be seen. But I can do images from this part here up to this part here, so that as I slide it out, the images will show through that heart shape there. Right. Now then, I think that this pocket is too deep for my page, so I'm actually going to trim it down a little bit and make it just slightly shorter, or not quite as deep. Just trim a little bit off. Yeah, about that. About that will do. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? That's better. Yeah, like that. And then I could round my corners. I could do decorative punched board corners on it. Add lace to it. Oh, where's my slider gone? It's there. There we go. We'll pop that back in there. And then I would put glue on the 1, 2, 3 sides again, and attach that to my page. That's all there is to it. It's a doddle. No one made me a brew, did they? Looks like I'm going to have to go and make my own. See you tomorrow.